Welcome to the Elk Season Podcast, Season 3, Episode 17?
18.
It's 18. Did I just say that?
You did, but you know
Out
what?
loud?
That's been a trend on our last several podcasts. So,
Episode 18. Today is June 27th, 2024. We are 62 days. 63 days. That's what I thought. Till Elk Season. It's sneaking up quick, right? We're between.
It is so close.
The solstice is come and gone.
You can smell it.
Yesterday, there was a little bit of rain in the air.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yes, it was.
And you just knew it was coming. All right. Tonight, we're the Chambers Brothers, by the way. My name's Harold.
I'm David.
Tonight on the Elk Season Podcast.
Snow in our hunting area to speak of. CWD shows up very briefly. How not to respond to a bear, but then grizzly versus moose. Insulated tents. I'm curious about this.
Me too.
There's also no more floaters allowed on the Smith River in Montana. We'll talk about that. But before we get to any of that, got a couple things we want to talk about, and so a couple of extras that we'll get to real quick. And so you had something special happen to you. So something happened yesterday.
So yesterday was my 52nd birthday.
52nd.
For 4 years ago on June 26th, 2020.
I know I talked to you yesterday. Well, I texted you, in all fairness. But happy birthday again, officially. More officially.
June 26th, 2020. I turned 48. And I took $100 and I reserved a Cybertruck.
Yes.
4 years ago to the day. Since then, and even before then, I have never sat in a Tesla. I've never ridden in a Tesla. I've never seen a Tesla. And my wife arranged it. She knew a guy who just got a Cybertruck in town, one of two Cybertrucks in the valley. And she knew the guy. It's like, hey, can my husband come and drive your Cybertruck? So I got to drive a Cybertruck yesterday, which was very exciting, very fun, and very cool.
Did you cut your fingers off?
And no, but
was
I thought about it.
Was this Cybertruck recalled?
But I thought about it.
You thought about it.
I thought about that gas pedal, or that. It's not a gas; it's an accelerator.
It's a very futuristic look. It's very modern. I don't know, Back to the Future, right?
It's just the future.
So
So
you saw how the tonneau cover works,
yes,
and how it's tires and lift. How did you feel about like the weight of the truck, driving it, and how it felt under steer?
Yeah, so understeer, there was a couple of things you have to get used to if you're not used to driving an EV. And that is when you let off the accelerator, there is so much drag put on those motors for regen braking.
Wow.
Right? That you let off the gas and you lean forward.
It's like that scene in Apollo 13, right?
Yes.
I just watched that yesterday, coincidentally.
Yes.
Coincidentally. And you were probably driving the Cybertruck during the time that I was watching that scene.
It was 3 o'clock.
That's when I was watching it.
Yeah, it was.
That's so funny.
3 o'clock. It was between 2:45 and about 3:15.
That's when I was watching.
There's a great scene in Apollo 13 where the booster shuts off,
right,
and the other rocket that it's boosting turns on. Yeah, and there's when acceleration shuts off, there's that thrust forward. If you look at SpaceX's Starship, they have a hot staging ring. Are you familiar with that?
No, I'm not.
Between the booster and the actual Starship is called a hot staging ring. So they can light one rocket and blow the other rocket away before it turns off, so you don't get that push from Apollo 13.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. And
that's cool.
Yeah, it's called a hot staging ring.
Didn't mean to hijack your conversation, but it's all cool stuff.
I get a little geeked out on some of that stuff.
Yeah, it's good.
So I got to drive it, and it was a big deal. I didn't get to drive it off road, which is what I'm really looking forward to. Cybertruck has 16 inches of clearance. The only thing that even comes close is a Hummer H1. A Subaru Forester has more clearance than a Ford F-150. A lot of people don't know that or understand what clearance is all about.
That's true.
They really don't. And clearance means a lot.
If you're going to lift your truck, you might want to lift your axles too. Just saying.
Yeah. And if you can't do that, then you're just not going to have the clearance.
Right.
So anyways, it was a fantastic experience. I was very, very glad my wife helped me.
You said 30 minutes. Of just hanging out with a Cybertruck.
Yeah, we drove down. I drove Blue Lakes in its entirety from the Prime Bridge all the way to Kimberly Road.
That's so cool.
Very, very purposely. I'm like, this is what you really want a Cybertruck for, is all the looks. You're like, see that old lady? What's up, girl? Right? And so I did some stuff like that as I'm driving. And I listened to Lainey Wilson, Heart Like a Truck.
There you go.
You know I like that
there
song.
It is. Yeah. So with all the grief that I've given you over Cybertruck and not being a big fan of it, I can't say that what I was going to say here is just that I'm glad that you got the experience. And I think to each their own and what they want to drive. And so even though I might have my difference of opinion of it, I don't want to take anything away from you and what you want to experience with it. So I'm glad that you had the experience, and I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I'm looking forward to your Cybertruck and sitting in it.
I really hope to get one. So I really hope to get one.
What if that
ahead.
was sooner than later?
Well, the sooner worries me.
Sorry. Anyway, so what? Anything else from your experience yesterday?
I would expect the guy who let me drive the Cybertruck. His name's Jeremiah. He owns a car dealership here in town that specializes in exotic cars. There was not a McLaren, but there was some awesome sports car there when we got there too. That the guy I was with, Matt from the CrossFit gym, just like, I need a picture of that.
Okay.
It's just a picture of some guy's car because it's cool. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to come of it. I always wanted a Hummer H1, and my buddy Slim asked me, where is that vehicle going to take you where the vehicle you have right now can't take you?
That's a good question, actually.
Yeah, I got a better answer.
Okay.
That's what I want to find out.
There you go. We gotta find that out.
And the part of the Cybertruck I'm really be interested in, there's a lot of dirt roads, and taking up time on those dirt roads is a lot. But you have this suspension system on the Cybertruck that can lift at 12 inches, and you put it in Baja mode, and so all these rocks, the computer, you're floating, right, and it can fly down these roads with these big rocks and potholes. You don't have to worry about as much, and so. Anyways, I don't know. Do I need it? No, of course not.
But you want it.
If I can swing it, I'm 52. If I can swing it, I'm going to get it, and it'll probably be the last truck I ever buy. But I'll have it forever. And anyways,
but being on your birthday, that brings me to my segment, because yesterday was your birthday, and I thought, oh crap, what do we usually do for our birthdays? But it's kind of died out in the last few years because we kind of don't really need much else. I dragged the two younger boys out to D&B to look at hunting gear and all this stuff. And I saw something, but I'm like, no, just nothing. I did need some fletchings because I lost a couple fletchings when we shot up there. So I was out of that color effectively. And so I bought some more fletchings, but that's all I walked out with. And I'm like, well, that didn't really pan out. So today I spent 9 hours on your birthday gift. So it's a day late. Wow. But it hit me.
Okay.
And it barely finished at 5:00.
Okay. You 3D printed something for me?
I 3D printed something for you.
Yeah? What you got? Ooh, it's in a paper bag?
It's not finished because I don't have the right glue.
Okay.
To put the tires on your brand new Cybertruck.
Oh, cool.
And it didn't print great,
cool.
but it's
oh, cool. Oh, cool. Oh my gosh. The Cybertruck, cool. I have wanted a toy Cybertruck forever. I see them on eBay. I'm like, I should buy one. Nah, that's dumb. And then I go, every time I'm in the store and the boys looking at toys, I'm over at the Hot Wheels seeing if I can find, because they make a Cybertruck Hot
today.
Wheels.
I was happened to be in the store and I was like, is there a Cybertruck? I'll get him that too.
Oh,
because this was printing while I was at the store. But so here's the thing: I had to print two of them because the first one didn't print right, and that one has some printing flaws.
Yeah,
but the first one had the front not completely attached for some reason. It's supposed to be a solid piece, but it didn't work.
That's
right.
actually how they make them.
I actually thought that and so unfortunately this one didn't work. So this was a 3.5 hour print.
Wow.
So I increased the size to try to get rid of the flaw, and the flaw you can still kind of see on the side. It looks like they're like stripes on the side of the door. Yeah. That's just a printing error, and I think if you made it even bigger, those would go away.
Yeah.
But this was an incredible print I found on Thingiverse for 3D printing, and you knew that I had this 3D printer, and I thought, well, what better way to surprise you? And even though it's gold, it's not like silver, but
that's okay. Have you seen the gold Cybertruck?
Oh yeah, wrap it, buddy. So
have you seen it?
I have.
Okay, yeah, they've taken and they've wrapped it in gold.
So
now, one of the things really funny that made us both giggle, because not only did I get to drive the Cybertruck, but I got to use the Cyber Wiper. That thing is huge.
Yeah, it is.
Before it started raining, and it only drizzled a little bit, but before it started raining, the guy's like, "Oh yeah, just push this button on the steering wheel." When that wiper moves across the windshield, we both giggled. We had never seen something so ridiculous. But that windshield, here's the joke I made for that windshield. If you look how much this windshield angles up on the Cybertruck, there's a lot of dash there. Okay, I said we could put ocean navigation maps on the dash. It's that big.
That's cool.
And plot a course and use
so
compasses and.
I've got the tires right here, but I got to get a special glue. It's not going to be drivable. They're not articulated wheels.
Well,
but
get with the program.
You could take it too if you want to. It just
no.
You can't use this is PLA, and I've learned in my class that I took you can't use things like Gorilla Glue or Super Glue because it'll melt the PLA.
Oh wow, really?
So you got to get a special glue.
Okay.
So I even double checked just before you got here because I have Gorilla Glue and I have glue to put fletchings on, but none of that will work for this stuff.
Okay.
But I'll try to make sure I have it completed for you, at least with the wheels on. And the wheels have pretty cool.
Oh, the design. Yeah. That is right on Cybertruck, man.
So it's
that is perfect Cybertruck stuff.
Not a perfect print, but it's
yeah, that's pretty cool.
I guess you could argue that the lines that go through that window kind of
like a pinstriping almost.
It's almost like a pinstriping, but if it goes up into the glass, it's kind of like what really happens to the glass.
I wonder if you could print one with a shattered window.
Anyway, so happy birthday.
Oh, sorry.
The first one,
Thank you.
like I said, it was a bit of a tedious print, but we'll have that completed.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm excited. I'm excited to take that and show it to Ozzy. And
it just hit me today, and I wish I would have started sooner so I could have had it finished for you.
I wish I would have thought of it. I would have told you.
Print me a Cybertruck.
Make me one, yeah.
So we had actually tried to print other vehicles, and I actually had a learning curve, so it actually kind of helped me with these prints today. So this was good, but
a Cybertruck's just a bunch of straight lines.
It did help. That did help. I'll be honest, because a Mustang and a Camaro
have a few more curves.
It just didn't work out.
Yeah.
So, all right. So that's what we had. So coincidentally, you're like, I had to talk about driving a Cybertruck, and I just had to talk to you about how I printed you a Cybertruck. So, but I wanted you to go first. For that reason. So. Anyway, so let's talk about snow in our hunting area. We were just up there.
Yeah, we were there June 15th.
Yeah.
And we talked about it on the way up there. We're like, this is the earliest I think we've ever been up there.
Yeah.
We've been really antsing to get up, and the water was even running too high on the creek to even do any fishing.
Yeah, we brought everything to do everything. But
we can't do anything. Well, we went and placed some cameras.
And true to its nature, that place has never let us down seeing elk.
Yeah. Never gets skunked.
I don't know if you looked at the video from the GoPro that I had. I don't know what that looks like. I just know that as soon as I saw the elk, we were hiking into what we call the Ripper.
Yeah.
And there's a couple bulls right there.
Yeah.
And I panned it, and we followed them. They hung out with us for I swear, an hour, 45 minutes at least. So that was really cool. And
and we placed a camera there that we hadn't placed a camera there before. So,
but that's what I think was the most inspiring is so it's kind of like we talk about the lounge.
Yeah.
And we just call that, should call that the Elk Lounge because it's off of, Elk Ridge. Yeah. But out the Ripper Pass, it's the Ripper Lounge, and we've watched elk down there before, and we've seen elk up on the hillside.
Many times.
So we're like, well, let's put a camera down there. And I think the elk gave us validation that was the right move. Seeing those bulls down there. And I'm excited to see what we'll find when we get up there and retrieve them. So but snow up there. It was nice and hot and warm, but it wasn't intolerable.
It was crazy windy. We both had hoodies on.
That's right. We did wear hoodies.
It was the being in the wind was cold. Taking your hoodie off was too cold.
Yep.
Leaving your hoodie on was too hot.
Yep.
It was a day in the mountains.
It wasn't the most miserable day I've had in the mountains, but
nope.
I'd rather have that than the most miserable day, I'll be honest.
But I haven't been in the gym for a couple of months. My wife's opening day of her CrossFit gym is today.
Yeah, I saw people out there running.
She just got her occupancy permit today, so
congrats to her from me, if you will.
Oh man, it's been a road. It's been a road, and now the journey can begin.
Yeah.
So we're excited about it, and
the second thing on our list,
and I'll get back to working out is the major point.
So we can hike more, and you talked about hiking more, and anytime you have an opportunity for me to join, I'll
let you know.
Go,
yeah.
So. Chronic wasting disease.
Okay.
There's an update here in Idaho, up in the counties where they have mandatory testing. They've changed it, and so the mandatory testing was for any ungulate, really. So you have elk, moose, and deer, but they've brought that back. And so what's interesting, we talk about there's a lot we know and a lot we don't know about CWD, and it appears that there's a lot more we know than we're getting information. And I don't think it's anybody's fault. I think it's just it's not that they haven't told us. It's just the nature of the Fish and Game Department, because they're updating this requirement based on data they have. But it'd be nice to know that this data informed you on this decision without this coming through an article. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's all. But no criticism. I'm glad that it is this way.
The bureaucracy has its lags.
Right. So, and it is what it is. But beside the point, deer, so you have regular deer and whitetail deer. Here in Idaho, we call it regular deer, mule deer, and whitetail deer. It might be different somewhere else, but you're still required in these counties up northern Idaho to have them tested. But moose and elk are now no longer a requirement.
Oh.
Even though moose and elk can get it, according to this article, they are not as susceptible to it as the deer.
Okay.
So apparently it runs more rampant in deer than these other species. So that's actually good news.
Okay.
Because I've had a lot of anxiety and stress over elk and CWD, but to know that it's not something that appears to transmit to them as readily.
Yeah.
That's good. So just a little bit
of good news. That's some good news for the elk out there. Okay.
Now, we have this conversation come up periodically throughout the last few years.
Yeah.
And that is, and this stems back to training I had when I was 14, going into the Bob Marshall Wilderness.
Yeah.
How do you approach a bear? You group up if you're in a group of people.
Yeah.
You have your bear spray. You make a lot of noise. You irritate this thing. Make it go away.
This is a little different. This is not them approaching a bear. This is a bear approaching them.
That's fine.
Right.
I think
still should be the same.
Correct.
It still should be the same. And what's sad is my first thought is, and I saw another bear. I saw another video of a bear taking a cooler. Like he took a cooler. He's carrying it in his mouth. And it's like they know food's in there. They want to go someplace private and eat the food.
That's what I do.
My first thought is that's a dead bear.
Yeah.
That's a dead bear.
Yeah.
And the people are killing that bear by not making noise, by not chasing it away, by not grouping up, and they left everything. There's this video on TikTok.
Yeah.
They left everything on the table but the open bag of chips. It's like, they have all these groceries on a picnic table, and here comes a bear. And people are just not trained. It's very frustrating.
So here's what you need to do. Here's a recommendation to anybody who might come across this. And this is a snippet for maybe TikTok.
Okay.
You're going to go on a vacation to a national park that you know has bears. Maybe it's Glacier, maybe it's Yellowstone, not Yosemite. Anyway, maybe Yosemite. They
got black bears.
That's a joke. Anyway,
you
have kids and you're worried about nature. Buy your kid. Now, this is only going to work for people who aren't anti-gun. There are non-gun types of these, but I'm just saying buy cap guns.
Yeah.
For your kids. Now, you don't want your kid to charge up to the bear with the cap gun, but any extra noise you can make that is kind of piercing and loud, just make it
startling.
Get startling noises, anyway, you can have some fun with this and help embed in your children habits that are healthy when it comes to dealing with nature, because we need nature to fear us. I know that sounds harsh, but in the wild,
that's how you train it. Right, you need negative reinforcement. You don't want that bear to ever come back to another cooler. You want that bear to think that a bag of chips is a bag of poison. I remember when Daisy killed one of Mom's chickens, And Mom took that chicken and beat Daisy with it and tied it to her collar.
I don't remember that.
That's what Mom told me. I don't remember watching it. But Mom was kind of old school like that.
Yeah, she was.
And she goes, and Daisy never touched another chicken after that.
Not that it makes it right, but I get it.
But Daisy didn't touch the chicken after that. The chicken was already dead.
Right.
Right?
It's the beating of the dog. And
it's understanding this is bad. And
right.
And yeah, there was some things Mom was a little off on.
I get it.
But that's an interesting lesson. And you have to be harsh like that. Because, and I've seen cattle guys like, hey, they get a new dog and then the neighbors will feed it. And they tells them, you feed that dog again, I'm going to take it out and shoot it. Because that's not how you train a cattle dog. Leave my dog alone. Stop giving him food.
Yeah.
And they're very serious.
No,
they have to hold that. They have to hold that over the dog to get its obedience.
Yes.
That food thing. And they go, well, if I can get it from somewhere else, why am I listening to you? So it's very important that they not get their food from people, and having some loud noises.
We don't have the headline for it, but I think I saw something in like Haley or Ketchum area where a bear was snacking on somebody's garbage, and they had captured the bear or something like that. So that to me, when I see that, I go,
yeah,
they didn't say it in the headline.
But that's a dead bear.
Dead bear.
That's a dead bear, and that's a dang shame.
So who wins, a grizzly or a moose?
There's so much more to this story you don't know.
That's why I'm asking. It says I have a note here that says grizzly versus moose. You told me that.
There is a popular YouTuber who 4 years ago did a story on a grizzly bear killing a hiker or camper at this very spot. He goes back to the very spot, and that YouTuber captured that moose being chased by that grizzly bear in that video. Right? So I looked up, where is this campground? Oh, it's right at the base of the Beartooth Highway Pass.
Okay.
Right between the bottom of the Beartooth Highway and Red Lodge, Montana.
Okay.
Do you know those campgrounds?
No, but I know where it's at.
Our family camped there. We had our family camp out there one year. I don't know if you made it.
I don't think, no.
But it was, I think I remember talking about driving the Beartooth Highway.
Yeah, you told me about it, but I wasn't able to go.
Okay. So this all comes back around. So our family camped there. This grizzly bear attack happened near the same year we camped there.
Yeah.
And of course, it's proximal to Yellowstone.
Right
very,
there,
very proximal. It's inside the Yellowstone grizzly bear ecosystem.
Yes.
Then there's this video, and there has been an attack reported, or an incident reported, a grizzly bear reported at the same campground we camped out as our family. So there's a lot, and our family camp out got canceled. And Jane's going back there. Our oldest sister is going back there.
Back to the Red Lodge?
Back to the Red Lodge area for camping, yeah. So there's a lot of people activity, a lot of human activity. And
she sleeps in a dedicated trailer now, so I think she'll be all right.
Yeah. I'm sure she will. As much as you like to might worry about certain things happening,
it's rare.
Statistically, it's not something you need to worry about.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're walking through the woods, take precautions.
Yeah.
And don't let you become one of those statistics.
I mean, how long did Timothy Treadwell live with the grizzlies on Kodiak Island before he finally got attacked by one?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Years and years and years.
Yeah.
He was up there for years. So
a long time.
When we say rare, like you have to try really hard is the point.
Yeah.
So nature is not as scary as you think, as long as you know what to do. And one of the things you can do to help yourself, make noise. Yeah. Make yourself scary.
Yeah, and don't leave food out. Here's something I wanted to say, though. I might make a special TikTok just for this. And I know I told you this statistic before. In the book, The Grizzly in the Driveway.
Yes.
I talked about grizzly bears eating the seats of the four-wheelers of the park rangers.
Huh.
For the salt.
Oh, okay.
But go ahead and put your food in a bear bag and sleep in your sweaty t-shirt. Salt is such a precious resource. Such a precious resource. You know Jim Bridger? There's the Bridger Mountains just north of of the Beartooth Mountains. There's the Bridger Mountains. Those are named for Jim Bridger.
Okay.
Jim Bridger was known to the Native Americans as Big Neck.
Okay.
He had a goiter because of the lack of the mineralizations in the high mountain water that he drank. Salt is an incredibly important resource. And finding salt soaked years and years of butt sweat, soaked into a four-wheeler trailer, a four-wheeler seat, and the Fish and Game officials go out, they come back, and their seat is what's torn to pieces because they're after that salt and they can smell it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But put your food in a bag, hang it from a tree. I'm just kidding. You should take all precautions.
You should. You
that
really
Fish and
should.
Game recommend. I just like to creep people out a little bit. It's a good one though, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a new nightmare level unlocked for grizzly bears.
Yeah, now I kind of do want to watch Cocaine Bear to see how crazy things can get. So I have not watched it, but it's based off of a true story.
It is, yeah.
Now hold on. Based off of.
Right.
It is so far from the truth, the actual movie.
Yeah.
But it's a fun premise.
Yeah. A bear died of cocaine overdose. That is true.
That is true.
That is true. Everything else made up, but it's based in that truth. Yeah.
All right. Insulated tents.
So awesome.
This does intrigue me because you got a tent, you got a pad, you got a sleeping bag, right?
Well, this takes care of the sleeping bag, right? You need to be insulated. You need like a blanket for cover, but you need to be insulated from the outside. That's what's there.
So I guess I was oversimplifying it in my mind.
Right, and so
it has all of these things.
And I told you about ultralight backpacking. They have a pad and they have a blanket that attaches to the pad because why have a sleeping bag that you're sleeping on? All your insulative value is squished out by laying on it. So why have it underneath you at all? Have some good insulation underneath you that can keep you warm, and use the down above you to keep you warm.
Yeah.
And that's what's great about the underquilt for the hammock is all that insulative value is retained.
So I'd be curious to see more about those.
I don't know if I'll ever get one of those tents.
Right.
But it's a new piece of gear, and people like trying different cool things.
And if it catches on, maybe it'll have some advancements, and maybe it'll come down in cost to where all.
Yeah. But I think every camper, when people tell me, what do you like, a tent or the hammock? And I always have to start out with, listen, sleeping outdoors is uncomfortable. Choose how you want to be uncomfortable.
Yeah,
right? There's no,
Absolutely.
Right?
I chose one time to almost freeze to death in the middle of the night. Remember that?
Yeah, you did. That wasn't a good choice.
No.
Not going to happen again.
No, it isn't. No, the next night I slept like a rock, though.
Right? It's just uncomfortable.
And a Wookiee.
There's always a root. There's always a pine cone. There's always a rock that's just jabbing you in the right place. And in a hammock, I can't eat.
Yeah.
I can't eat in a hammock. That's what I like about having a tent. That's what I like about having a tent.
It's spilled all over me.
I can sit there and I can stir some pudding and watch some stories on my TV and
just really,
and snack and have fun. Yeah. So the hammock has its disadvantages, but either way, when you sleep outdoors, you're going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And
let's talk a little bit more about the outdoors. I'm going to set up this last one, so don't jump into this last one until you hear my setup.
Okay.
So there's a couple of themes over the years that we've talked about that I'm going to pull together.
Okay.
A few themes. One of which we've talked a lot more about this year, and that is the overabundance of people in nature.
Yeah.
Okay. You showed me a video earlier today, and it's like getting into Yellowstone is like ridiculous. Like it's heartbreaking.
Not worth it is what it is.
Yeah. It's like the ski lift. It's like the lines at Disneyland.
Right. And it's all the same. Yeah.
It ain't nothing to change. So there's that. But with the abundance of people in nature, and we talked about this last year, I believe, earlier in the year, Colorado was like making sure that people who go out on their trails have a special little shovel so they could bury their dunk.
That's right.
Dookies or whatever, right? Dunk, dookie, whatever. Because excrement and waste is a problem with increased numbers of people out there. And so there's a place in Montana where they're saying no more floaters on the Smith River.
Right.
In Montana.
Right.
And it's related to both of those themes. Too many people and human waste.
Yeah.
So what else do we need to know about no more floaters on the Smith River?
What I liked about the video that I showed you was she explained how they really want to encourage you to pack out your poo.
Yeah, pack out what you pack in.
And they have these special washing machines halfway down the river.
And they had a special type of
bin
contraption. So it was an ammunition container for large ammo.
Yeah, it looked like
and then it had been retrofitted with some sort of tank.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, that's brilliant.
And it seals up.
And it's almost tall enough that if there's a way to sit on it to do your stuff, like it would be, great.
Yeah. And I really haven't had a problem packing out poo before. We've done it.
Yeah.
And we've not done it.
Yeah.
Right. In the right places, in the right context, you realize it's going to be okay or it's not going to be okay.
Right.
But what I was surprised to find out that it's already on most rivers. It's already banned.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
And that's great.
Yeah. Agreed.
It makes sense.
Agreed. And because I'll tell you an experience I had when I went to Arizona. I went to Arizona. Like I said, Phoenix is the 5th largest metropolitan area in the United States. And we want to go hiking at dawn. I go, okay, great. We'll go hiking at dawn. We get up early. We drive because it was December. But it was still nice out. And so we go to hike and we just want to hike up to this peak. It's like 30 minutes. It's nothing fancy. But even halfway up, someone couldn't wait. And they used, I think, a t-shirt to clean themselves up. And so there's poop and there's all these clothing right on the side of the trail.
Yeah.
And this is the problem with too many people in the wilderness.
Yeah.
And when we got there, the parking lot was huge and we had trouble finding a spot.
Wow.
And we got there at dawn before the sun's even up. So, anyways,
they know it's going to get hot.
This is what's left of the West is where we are.
Yeah.
This is going to be the last place to fill up, but it's filling up quick. I feel it.
Idaho has certainly changed in the last 10 years. So
very much so.
More changes coming, but that
always
brings us to the end of our list today.
And old men will always complain about it. Hey, get out of here, you newbies!
Get off my lawn.
We got names for them. We got greenhorns. Yeah. We got Easterners. We got Californians. They're the worst.
I know. So I bought a hat in California that has the bear on the hat, and I've been wearing it around town. And the thought has crossed my mind: will I get discriminated against?
Yeah,
because I'm wearing a hat that says California.
Yeah.
Will somebody look at me and just assume that I'm from California?
Yeah.
So apparently, I so far no, because I wear it all the time. But so I think it needs to be paired with plates, and then maybe I'll get yelled at.
The Cali plates.
But if I have that concern, that also tells me, hey, just stop it. Let people be people. Anyway,
I know, but I'm people too. And me being me, I'm going to say something. That's all. Right. Let people be people. Sure, let me be me.
That's what I'm saying.
That's all. Okay.
Anyways, do you.
I'm going to do me. All right.
I got you back.
We'll see you back when we see you back here.
Cheers.
Whatever. We got 4th of July is next Thursday.
Yeah.
So see you in a couple weeks.
See you in a couple weeks.
We'll be even closer to elk season.
Yep.
Goodbye.
Bye.
In the morning light, before dawn, bow grip tight, heart beating strong. Through the forest, ancient giants roam. In the land where the wild calls me home. Through the whispering pines and the autumn breeze, driven by the chase, crisp air I breathe. With every step I take, earth beneath my feet. In nature's beauty where the hunter and elk meet. The mountains rise, kissed by the sun. In September, where I belong. Bugles echo loudly through the veil. A symphony of an ancient tale. Through the whispering pines and the autumn breeze, driven by the chase, crisp air I breathe. every step I take, earth beneath my feet. In nature's beauty where the hunter and elk meet. Silent as the morning mist, I travel on with careful grace. Every shadow, every sound surrounds me in this wild embrace. The challenge and the thrill, the patience and the skill, in the dance of life and nature, my heart's forever filled. As the sun sets, shadows long and deep, I find my place with the memories I keep. The chase and the beauty of a day gone by. Deep in the mountains, my spirit cries. Through the whispering pines and the autumn breeze, driven by the chase, crisp air I breathe. With every step I take, earth beneath my feet. In nature's beauty, out where the hunter and elk meet. Here's to the wild places where the elk and I both roam. The chase that brings us closer to the place that I call home. In the stillness of the forest, in the grandeur of the land, I am one with nature's wonder, with my bow